When I get mad, I feel it everywhere, even in my fingers. They get all tight, like they're holding something sharp. I don't always know why I stay mad so long, I just can't let it go. It feels like if I let it go, then the other person wins, and I don't want that. I'm 8, and I don't like losing, not even in tiny things. If someone bumps me in the hallway at school, I remember it for the whole day. If my cousin takes my pencil without asking, I wait until I can take something back just to make it even. Mom says, "Sweetheart, you can just forgive." But that sounds like giving up. Forgiving feels like saying, "It's fine," when it's not fine at all. I don't want people to think they can just do stuff to me and walk away. I want them to know they were wrong. So I stay angry, even when my stomach hurts a little from keeping it inside. I think being angry makes me strong. I think it means I'm not easy to hurt. I think it means I'm in control. I don't want to be like my little brother, who cries right away and forgives 5 minutes later like nothing happened. That looks weak. I don't want to be weak. When I grow up, I'll never let anyone walk over me. I'll be the kind of grown-up who people don't try things with. If someone lies to me, I'll stop talking to them forever. If someone hurts me, I'll hurt them back, but smarter. Grown-ups always say things like, "Be the bigger person," but I don't get it. The bigger person always seems like the one who lets the other person get away with stuff. I don't want to get away with anything. I want fairness. I want everyone to treat me the way I treat them. If I share my toys, they should share theirs. If I keep a promise, they should too. But they don't. A lot of people don't. Like the boy at recess who said he'd play soccer with me, then ran off with someone else. Or Dad, who says he'll call on weekends but doesn't always. I pretend it doesn't hurt, but it does. It feels like a bruise no one can see, and if I forgive him too fast, it feels like the bruise didn't matter. I want things to matter. I want people to understand that when they forget me, or lie, or leave, something inside me remembers. I don't forget. I don't want to forget. Forgetting feels dangerous, like if I let someone off the hook, they'll just do it again and again. So I collect these little moments like marbles in a jar. One for when my friend didn't save me a seat. One for when my uncle joked about me being too sensitive. One for when Mom yelled even though I didn't do anything wrong. Every marble has a feeling inside it. Some are hot, some are heavy. I shake the jar sometimes when I'm alone, and it makes a noise that feels like me. When I get older, I'll throw the whole jar out. I'll be different. I'll be stronger. I'll choose friends who never disappoint me. I'll live in a house where no one forgets things and no one says things they don't mean. Maybe I'll have a huge door that shuts really quietly, so that when someone hurts me, I can close it and keep them out without saying a word. I think that's what strong people do. They don't need to yell. They just walk away. But I don't really want to walk away. I just don't want to feel so small when someone makes me sad. I want to feel big enough that their words bounce off me like rubber balls. When I'm older, I'll have perfect control. I'll know exactly who deserves my time and who doesn't. I'll never cry in front of anyone. I'll never say, "It's okay," unless I really mean it. And if someone hurts me, I'll make sure they understand how much. Not to be mean, just to be fair. I think fairness is the most important thing in the world. Fairness means no one gets to leave you with a bad feeling. Fairness means no one is allowed to forget you. Fairness means that if you get hurt, something should happen so you're not the only one who feels it. Sometimes I wonder if grown-ups feel the same. They say, "Let it go," like it's easy, but then they slam doors and go quiet for whole evenings. They say, "Don't hold grudges," but then they talk about what grandma said 12 years ago like it was yesterday. Maybe grown-ups pretend to forgive, and kids just don't know how to pretend yet. Maybe that's the only difference. When I grow up, I won't pretend. I'll be honest about what hurts, and strong enough to make sure it never happens again. I'll protect myself. I'll protect the kid I am right now. I won't let him be pushed around. I won't let his marbles spill everywhere. I'll carry them carefully, and I'll only drop them when I'm ready. And when people ask me why I don't forgive easily, I'll say, because I remember. I think remembering is safer than forgiving. At least right now it feels that way. I don't know if that makes sense. I guess I'm still figuring things out. But I know one thing for sure. When I grow up, I'll never let anyone break me. I'll be the one who decides what hurts and what doesn't. And if they hurt me anyway, I'll never forget it. That's how I'll stay strong. I carried the jar longer than I thought I would.
Funny thing, I don't remember when it got so heavy. At some point it just stopped being a jar of little grudges from childhood and turned into, well, something else. A habit, maybe. A way of walking through the world. I used to believe forgiveness was the language of weak people, the ones who didn't know how to stand up for themselves. I thought holding on made me strong. But strength is a strange thing. It doesn't grow where you expect it to, and sometimes the things you water the most end up choking everything around them. My life didn't fall apart in one dramatic moment. It didn't explode. It settled. It tightened. It got smaller. I thought I was building boundaries, but really I was building walls, and inside those walls it's very quiet. Too quiet. The first real fork in the road was small. These things always are. A friend apologized for something stupid, something I can't even recall now. I told him I needed space. What I meant was, I want you to feel what I felt. I waited for him to chase me, to prove he cared. He didn't. He thought I truly needed space, and so he gave it to me, and the space stayed. Other friendships went the same way. I kept expecting people to fix what they broke, and maybe they would have if I'd ever let them close enough to try. Instead, I walked around like a man guarding a museum of old injuries, catalogued and polished. I married a woman who was patient beyond reason. She tried to open me, not by force, but with gentleness, which in some ways is harder to tolerate when you don't know what softness feels like anymore. When we argued, I would shut down. Not shout, not storm out, just close the door inside my chest. I thought this made me controlled, dignified. She thought it made me unreachable. We weren't wrong. Years chipped at us, not big years, small ones. The quiet dinners after long days when I answered her stories with short nods. The birthdays where I remembered what someone had said 10 years ago but forgot to say something kind today. The nights I held on to a sentence she said in frustration and treated it like a truth carved in stone. I could have forgiven her. She always forgave me. But forgiveness felt like surrender. And I wasn't ready to admit that sometimes the only thing you're surrendering is your own stubborn loneliness. My children grew up watching me hold on to things longer than they lasted. Kids feel these things. They know when the air's tight, when they messed up, spilled something, talked back, forgot a chore. I didn't hit or shout. I did worse, I think. I went cold. I thought I was teaching them responsibility. All I taught them was that love could freeze, that affection could vanish behind a closed door. I see that now, in how carefully they choose their words around me. Even as adults, they love me. I know they do. But they love me cautiously, as if I might break or break them. Time isn't cruel the way people say. It's patient. It sits nearby and waits. It waited for me to notice that the anger I thought was protecting me was hollowing me from the inside. Little pieces gone. An old friend I never called back because I was still hurt. A brother I didn't see for years over a comment he made at a wedding. A son who stopped telling me things because he said once, in a very small voice, "I don't want to disappoint you again." I told myself he was being dramatic. He wasn't. I was. The weight didn't hit me all at once. It showed up in strange moments, like standing in the kitchen at night, holding a mug, and realizing I couldn't remember the last time I missed someone without also resenting them. Or sitting at a doctor's office, hearing words that should have scared me, but feeling only a strange numbness because I'd spent so long tightening every feeling inside me that even fear couldn't get through. I had convinced myself that forgiveness made you soft. Turns out resentment does that. It makes you brittle. It steals flexibility, steals warmth. You think you're holding the world accountable, but really you're holding yourself hostage. I didn't understand that when it mattered most. And now my world is quiet. My phone rings less. People assume I prefer solitude. I let them believe it. It's easier than admitting I wouldn't know how to open up even if I tried. I still remember that jar from childhood, not literally, but the idea of it. The marbles, the sound they made. I thought I'd throw it out when I became strong enough. Instead, I carried it through every room of my life, and somewhere along the way, I stopped noticing the sound. I stopped noticing a lot of things. I don't want to dramatize this. I'm too old for grand gestures and too honest for pretty conclusions. But if the boy I was asked me now, did holding on protect us? I think I'd smile, a small, tired smile, and tell him the truth he wouldn't understand yet, that some things you hold on to long enough stop being shields and start being weights. And if he asked, should I forgive people then? I wouldn't say yes, I wouldn't say no. I'm done giving instructions, even to myself. I'd just tell him that the anger didn't do what I thought it would. It didn't make me strong. It didn't make life fair. It didn't keep people from hurting me. It only kept me from feeling anything else fully. I don't regret my whole life. That kind of regret is too big, too simple. But I do regret the rooms I never walked back into, the calls I never returned, the hands I didn't reach for because I was busy proving something no one remembered but me. And now, with the years quieter and the nights longer, I can finally admit it without shame. I carried too much for too long, and it changed me in ways I didn't notice until it was too late to change back. If you're where I once was, heavy with old stories and waiting for apologies that may never come, you still have something I don't. Time. I won't tell you what to do with it. I just hope you don't spend all of it carrying the same jar I did. I don't have a lesson to hand you, not after all this time. I'm too old for lessons and too honest for promises. I can only tell you that I carried my anger like it was something precious, and it stayed with me long after the people I aimed it at were gone from my days. Maybe that's just how some lives go. Maybe it's how mine had to go. If you're standing where I once stood, holding tight to something that hurts, I won't tell you to drop it or forgive it or fix it. I don't know what your hands can bear. I only know what mine couldn't. And if there's still room in your life to choose differently, then that room belongs to you, not to me. I just wanted you to hear what became of my choices and how quietly they shaped the years around me. The rest is yours to decide.